YouTube! Me and baby girl are going out, about to celebrate Easter together. We're gonna go get some food, and then we're going to a plantation later on, and we're gonna bring y'all along today. It's the first video that baby girl's in, so say hello to the channel, Mariah.
Hello.
Oh, and scared away, she ran away. I'll probably edit that part out of her running away. About to go, and I'll get back to y'all once we get there. Just made it over to IHOP. About to get some omelets. About to punish that on this French toast. I'm gonna get an omelet. We're gonna enjoy this fine meal on this Easter Sunday. There was a bug. Oh, I can't curse. There was a bug in my coffee creamer. That's what I was showing y'all. And then the food wasn't that good. What would you rate it?
Okay, so I guess since I was real hungry, I ate it all, but...
Same, yeah, I did eat all the food, I'm not gonna lie.
My hash browns were hard. I don't know how you get hash browns stale, but okay. My toast didn't have, usually they put a little butter on top of it, serve it to you warm, not dry, and they didn't give me any jelly. And then my eggs were not regular scrambled eggs. They were egg white poured out of a carton, and that's what they usually use for an omelet. And then my sausage links, they tasted...
Oh, they thought they'd link. My sausage.
My sausage links were a little weird tasting. They were like smooth, like felt like they were not cooked. I'd rather them be like a little burnt or something.
Oh, 1 through 10.
I was about a 2. Usually IHOP is good.
Yeah, IHOP used to be good. I used to come here all the time. It used to be my me and my family's favorite spot. But nah, this IHOP right here, not it. She want a little extra protein with the buggies inside. And then the girl didn't even have the nerve to take off the coffee. I could have complained, but I mean, it is just $3 and I still tipped her, but I don't know. She could have taken it off, but I didn't even look at it. I was just really ready to just leave, honestly.
We should have went somewhere else. We should have went to the brunch at the place we're going, for real.
And Mariah says this now after we done eat and ate the food and digesting it. Stay tuned if you want to see where we're going. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be cool. See y'all when we get there.
Historic. It's a good word.
I'm keeping all this in here.
Hit me.
They gonna roast you for that. My subscribers are loyal. They got my back. All 15 of y'all, shout out to y'all. Thanks for watching my videos. All right, this is already a 2-minute clip. I'm gonna get back to y'all when we get there. It's already starting to drizzle. We just made it to Middleton place over here. Thought this would be something nice to do, kind of learn something too. Dang, so where are we at? So we're here, and then we got all of this right here. That's a lot. Well, there's a plantation stable yards right there, and there's the farm carriage trail. We might do that. Just checked in, got our stickers and maps. Poor guys. Mariah's really good at operating and getting us through stuff, so I'm gonna follow her today. Even though I might let my ancestors talk to me, but I'm gonna follow Mariah around because her ancestors used to tell me what to do. With everybody? Oh no, I'm just recording it. It's a recording. Yes, ma'am. No, I appreciate it. Thanks.
Do you have your blue stickers?
No. Yeah, need to get one we have our.
I paid online. Unfortunately, they ask you to check in at right
at
there, and they'll give you the sticker, and that way nobody will say
yes, ma'am.
That way nobody will be saying, "Where's your sticker?"
Yes, ma'am. Do we have to wear them, or can we just keep them on us? Because I kind of want to save it.
Okay. Well, they change the colors every day. So
Okay.
it's up to you. As long as you keep it in your pocket, and somebody may ask you, somebody may not, but
Right.
at least you can just pull it out.
Yes, ma'am.
Usually they say wear it, but
Okay, I got
you
you.
want a picture of this?
Yeah. We're gonna go on the wilderness side and check everything out. And she said that there was a sundial that meets in the middle. That way we know that we're in the center of everything.
Look at the word slave, and you'll notice in mine, I try to use both, because I think some is a little more applicable at times, depending what you're talking about. When you work at the word slave, slave is a noun. And being a noun, it can be three things: person, place, event. Well, in our case, it's not a place, it's definitely a person, it's also a thing. All right? Some people want to try to go, and I think it's right, want to go past that just looking at a thing, and instead saying, this person is not a slave, what they are is enslaved. That they're more in a condition of enslavement on this. There's a lot of debate within the profession on the use of that word. Some people don't want to use the word enslaved at all. Some people want to use, what is it? Captive African instead. Or, I mean, and a lot of people, matter of fact, I had a college professor 2 weeks ago. I had a long discussion about him. He was coming in from he was religious, I forget.
Oh, I almost fell. I'm just walking. I'm not even looking. I'm just walking around.
Exactly what he taught. He taught like Jewish studies. And he didn't think the word enslaved was an accurate description. Because his argument was, well, to be enslaved, that means you have to be in a state of that you can't be, that you would have to be not a slave. Only a person who's not born a slave could be enslaved. And here in the United States, actually here in the United States, slavery is perpetual. You were born this way. There is no other condition. This is the way a person was born, or an African American was born. So for him, his argument was, enslavement's not the exact word for them.
Well, they were free, I think, for the most part, in Africa. Some of them.
Exactly. Yeah, and the argument there is, in Africa, probably the majority.
This is the thing that she was talking about, the center.
Yeah, the center with the sundial.
Were free, so yes, they were enslaved. So that's probably a more proper term when you're talking of Africans being brought over. That term is actually more accurately describes their condition than it does someone born here in the United States in the 18th. A slave is, if you look at it as a noun, we're either looking at a person or a thing. Whereas enslavement, we're looking first and foremost as a human being and his condition that this human being is. So it puts the humanness kind of forefront. And I'll be honest, I don't necessarily totally agree with that. I understand the gist of it, and I'm fine with it. I think...
Imagine what this tree could tell you. Imagine all the things that this tree has seen and been through.
She probably got bullet holes in it from the Civil War.
It probably does. It's surreal. Like, look, stand right there. Let me get you standing next to the tree. I don't really want to step on the grass, but it's okay. Wow. It's unreal, Mariah.
Look, it's even holding it up down there.
For me, both words, again, depending what context and when you're talking about and what, I think both words are very applicable to the situation.
Whoa.
I want to look at
And
it.
then you can look down each point and see something.
Slave, however, is a human being, right?
Is a human being, but they can be, by law, as we said earlier, they can be that person, but they can also be considered a thing as well. It can be bought and processed and moved around. It's, you know, February of 1865 gets burned, buildings are torn down, gardens go total disrepair. Okay, get overgrown, this place falls apart. Okay, and it stays that way really till about the 1920s, late 20s, early 30s.
Mariah says that she would want to be here at night. No, you don't. You know how much goes on and how much paranormal activity that goes on here? I wouldn't be here at
I
night.
should watch YouTube videos about it.
We should. and we're gonna post this on YouTube.
They did have twilight hours
Yeah,
here.
it happened.
From that time, from about, we'll say 65, 70, the gray lady would walk the gardens at night. You could see her from a distance, it was said. She was gray in a shroud. She had a lantern, and she would roam the gardens. And you would see her out here.
Wow.
After they finished the restoration, they noticed the gray lady's no more. And the saying was because, well, the gardens have been brought back. The place has been made whole. It's the Middletons.
The Middletons are buried right there. May they rest in peace, but wow.
No longer, she was keeping watch over the place until it was made whole and brought back. And then she disappears.
Do you think that could have been Eliza, since she was the last, or recorded to be the last?
Well, she's the last occupant of Eliza's house in 1984.
Right.
I'm not sure what it is. I can tell you, my staff in the house, I've had many of them tell me they have seen ghosts inside the house.
I believe it, yeah.
That they have seen, we have, one of our ghosts, he has a beard and a top hat and he smells like a cigar. And they, as two of the ladies have told me, they have no fear when they see him. They like see him, and then as soon as they like avert their eyes, he's gone. But she goes, we don't feel scared.
Maybe it was Abe Lincoln.
Who knows? Now my wife used to work in the house, and she always told me, she goes, look, if I see a ghost, your wonderful collection of silver on the dining room table, it's probably going to get broken because I'm going over the table out the window.
Yeah.
I don't care. Because it doesn't matter. I don't care about anything at that point.
And then you can see the sundial from his tomb. So that sundial is like the center point to everything. And Mariah just pointed out the fact that you can see our breaths. Look, go ahead. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but look, I just float.
It can't be that cold though.
It has something to do with it. I don't know.
It's only 54.
I don't know, Mariah. I don't know.
Here, and I have the wonderful opportunity and the wonderful position here of being your host. This is Beyond the Fields, Enslavement in Middleton Place, where we're going to talk about the institution of slavery and how it was practiced on a low country 18th and 19th century rice plantation. But we're going to do so by looking at it through the eyes of the men, the women, and also the children that not only were enslaved here, but at various other Middleton plantations as well. And we feel that a place such as Middleton Place, where this institution of slavery existed for over 150 years on the very ground we're walking on out here, this is the perfect place to talk about. So you got questions, you got comments, you got something you want to say, you feel free to speak up. You're more than welcome to. Okay. Today, Middleton Place is run by the Middleton Place Foundation, which is a not-for-profit educational trust. So what this place is, it's a historic site. Okay, it's here for education, it's here for our enjoyment, it's here for our recreation, it's here for a place for us to learn and also, I think, to enjoy ourselves as well. But for most of its existence, Middleton Place, it's a plantation. What's a plantation?
Essentially a large garden.
A large garden?
Essentially.
Okay, it's a large garden. We do have a garden here. And as a garden, it's a thing of beauty. It's a place of status. A country estate, shall we say. Okay. Anything else this place is?
It's a business.
Okay, it's a business, or let's take that business, it's farm. Okay? Crops are raised, animal raised to be, to sustain the place, also to be sold off the place for profit. Exactly right. Anything else? Anything else you say?
It's kind of a city in my mind.
A city?
A
Okay.
town, a small town. It's
So you're saying a home?
Yeah, almost like a
Yeah,
compound.
there's a home here. There's a family. The family lives here. People are born here. People die here. People have children. People raise children here. They get married here. Like any family or home, shall we say, or if we want to use that word compound, there's a sense of support. There's a sense of order. There's a sense of love here. Sure. Anything else? How about a place of enslavement? How about a place of bondage, where people were kept against their will in one of the most vilest, cruelest institutions that ever existed here in the United States? Matter of fact, if we take that idea of bondage or that idea of enslavement, slave population, they're also a status, but this beauty.
What's cool in there? There's a heater too.
Yeah, but when I flushed the toilet, it was like making a weird noise. It was like, zoom.
You wouldn't even think any of this is in South Carolina.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like, yeah, because all the hills.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. This doesn't seem like South Carolina. As you know, we're known as the low country, and this is not the low country over here. You're right. Bro, I didn't even think about that, right?
Yeah, does that look like?
No, this doesn't. Because even look up there.
And guiding characteristics you and I as American citizens, we hold dear to this very day. But at the same time, this is a place whose history is dark. It is ugly.
But you know this thing got roaches in it. Oh look, these are the screws from the earthquake. So back when that sign was saying from the great earthquake, they would restructure the buildings and put bolts in them and then retighten them. That way if it were to happen again, it could realign the house. Just in case it were to fall again.
Called the mill.
It is uncomfortable. And I hope while you're here today, you can see all of that you could experience everything in there and see how it all fits together. Now, when we focus on enslavement here, or slavery here in the United States, there's one thing I think we need to kind of realize. When we talk about slavery...
Pringle, look. That's me.
What?
See, this is my place. My people used to run this. I'm a Pringle.
Here in the United States, it's not this big static monster we think it is, okay? The way slavery was used, the way it was operated, the way it was utilized, it was always changing. It was always evolving. It was never the same in the same place or at the same time. There were a lot of the factors that affected how this institution was going to run. Probably the biggest factor? Well, how many enslaved people are we talking about? Are we talking about 5? Or are we talking about 500? That's different right there. Other factors include, well, how many whites are present? What's the land like? What's the geography? What's the work being done out here? What's the climate? Those all affect how this institution is going to run. So you could say, for example, 1700 South Carolina. This place in 1700. Anybody know what this place is in 1700?
It's wilderness. There's nothing on it.
This is the frontier. This is a dangerous place. I don't care who you are. Your chance of surviving out here is next to none. And when you have that enslaved person, when you have that slave out here and he's working on this land, in most cases, guess who's working right beside him doing the exact same thing he's doing? The person who owns him. Because they need each other. If they're going to survive out here, they've got to depend upon one another. But when we get to 1800 South Carolina, ooh, things change. Not only is the city up and running, now you have a local government, state government, federal government, and that relationship between the slave and the enslaver takes on a whole new dimension now. You have some owners that are cruel, sadistic, inhumane in the way they treat people. And then you have others, well, you could argue that some actually exercise a certain degree of concern for the welfare of their enslaved property. Okay? Same thing applies to enslaved people. You have some slaves, all they do is fight. Fight, resist, do whatever they can.
What do you say about this canoe?
It was used to transport field slaves and tools throughout the rice canals.
Take it out of this system. And then you have others, well, they learn to live within this confinement. Whether it's out of fear, maybe there's a certain degree of spiritual acceptance, or maybe it's because they fear for their family or something in that nature. So, if slavery is always changing, and it's never the same at the same time or at the same place, or even with the same people, well, let me ask you guys, what's slavery? How do we define it? How can we define slavery?
And Mariah just pointed out that these rods up here are like the bolts I was telling you about before we walked in. They're connected right there and right there to restructure the house. And they're right there, see? And on that side. And I guess that's where the rice was over there. Where they would grow the rice, and probably in the canals over here too. We're gonna have to make a two-parter to this video. This is gonna be 2 parts. Y'all getting two parts of the video. All right, YouTube, thanks for watching. This is Middleton Place. It has a lot of history, like how you saw and you heard about. If you like the vlog, please subscribe, drop a like and a comment, and we're gonna keep these videos rolling out. This was a lot of fun, just seeing all this scenery and seeing everything's around. As you can see, this is a really nice area and backdrop of everything. And thanks for watching. Peace.